I'm Brian Wilson, and I'm going to be talking to you about technology. The problem with technology is it's such a vast topic, it's difficult to focus it down to any particular thing. So what I decided was to focus on something that I think, some of the things I think will help you with your business the most. And it will tie it together with some of the things that Jana presented as far as using Outlook and managing your contacts and that kind of thing. And also being able to stay in touch with your sphere, doing mail outs, building up your points. So I've been with John L. Scott since 2005. I got the ePro designation, and I would recommend that to anybody. It's a really good program, and it goes through a lot of things about the web, Web 2.0, social media, all those kinds of things. Well worth doing. It takes about, well, it's a 30-hour program, but it takes about 45 hours. I obtained my degree in electrical engineering from the University of Washington in 1999, so I was a go-back-to-school kind of guy. And I worked as a senior computer system engineer with Cerner. They did hospital computer systems, and mostly it was Unix-based systems, but then also pushed out software to Windows-based workstations. I also co-founded a couple of businesses. We developed ultrasonic sensing systems. So I've been in technology for a long time. 7 habits that lead to success. I work in and on my business every day, and it's consistency, all the time working at something. And lifelong learning is a real big thing. I think you have to constantly stay up on what's going on, constantly educate yourself, constantly thinking of new ways to do things and new ideas. Creativity is the key for us. Reading news, financials, what's going on, big picture stuff, as well as what's happening locally. Making a plan and working on a plan. Pretty much every year we add something new to our business that Jen and I put together, and then we start implementing it. And it's okay if you do a rough start. The most important thing is that you just act. You need to do something, and if it's a rough start, that's fine. It gives you a place to start, and then you can build on it from there. Sometimes it involves spending some money on new technology, new software or hardware, but most of the time it's just hard work, working every day at something. And then I find a lot of value brainstorming with other people. So it's amazing how when you start bouncing ideas back and forth, how they evolve and you get something much better than just thinking in your own head. So,
can you go back
one more time?
Brian, I have a question.
Yep.
So number 6, every year you add a leg to your business. What are you saying?
I kind of picture business as being like a stool, and every year I put something else under it, and it adds some robustness to the business. It gives us a new direction. And rather than banking on one thing, what seems to be the key to my business is a lot of little things all add up together into a big success. So it's never just one thing. It's just doing a lot of different things and doing them consistently. So one of the things I was thinking is, what are the tools that pretty much everybody has and that everybody should know how to use? And that would be Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word. And the thing about it is that these tools are so much more powerful and do so much more than most people actually use them for. And I think that these are kind of the keys. And if I think about what do I use all the time, it's these tools. And I'm going to be talking about the data types. So if Jana, when she got her farm leads from Brenna at Stewart Title, on there are two files. One is a CSV and one's in an Excel format. Excel will open either of those ubiquitously. They'll just It's just magic. It's smart, it opens them, and I'm going to show you how that works. So the goal I have for going through this information today is to have you be able to focus on developing professional materials that you can send out to your database, to your client list, or to farms, and not be struggling with data, but be able to think about what it is you're going to send, what you're going to do from a marketing standpoint. When you get this set up and you've got your data lists, you can regularly send mailings out, and it's just easy. It's pushing a couple of buttons, you can print them out, and there you've made your next set of points towards your goal of 100%. So this ties in with the point system that Jana talked about, staying in touch, sending something, and this is tying that together. When it's easy to generate mailings, you'll do more and you'll get more business. Kind of that simple. I'm also going to talk about the Google Cloud and Android phones. Most people here are getting some type of a smartphone, and it's really important to back your data up and be able to use that data in other ways. So I'll be showing you that too. And again, kind of the generic file that seems to be used most often is a .csv file. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Here's an image that kind of shows what's going on with data between your smartphone, the Google Cloud, the John L. Scott Exchange server, and then a desktop computer running Microsoft Outlook, and how you can sync everything. And you'll see there that the key to it is the CSV file. When you do a mailing, you open your data file. So I'm calling it a data file, but what it is, it's just it's your mailing list. And it's either going to be in an Excel format, which is .xls for Excel 2007, or it's going to be a CSV file, which stands for comma-separated variables. And then you merge that data into your Word document, which would either be a letter, or it could be envelopes, or it could be labels, whatever you want.
Hey Brian, I have a question. Could you go back? So let's say that I have a mailing address. I've got the name and address in Paulsville, Washington, and if I click on it to save it, I'm going to save it as a CSV or an XLS.
The favored file, if you're going to be saving it for a mailing, would be an XLS. And what's magic about, if I'd say it's magic about Excel, is that you can open a CSV file, and Excel's smart enough, it knows how to open it, it knows there's a header file, and then you can turn right around and save it as a .xls, the same file, and that's what I would do. The other thing that I think is important is managing your data as to where it is. When you save something, a lot of times I see people struggling, well, where was that file? I saved it somewhere. So it's really simple. Create an envelope or a file folder on your desktop, call it marketing data. Create another one that's marketing letters. And just save your stuff there, and then it's always in one place, accessible to you as soon as you need it. All of these data files have a header, which is the very top row that starts with parcel ID and goes across. And those are going to be your field names. And those are important when you do a mail merge. And so what you'll see when I open Word. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to walk you through doing a mail merge because it's the simplest thing ever with Microsoft Word 2007 and Excel 2007. So what we've done here is we've just got a blank document space. And actually, I've got one that I kind of put together that is a letterhead that I'm going to open instead.
It's just a Word document, that's all.
That's it.
Where'd you get that?
I just created it. Okay. All right. So when you do a mailing, you just go right up to the top of your windows. You opened you can create this and save this as a template or just as a document. You go up to mailings, and go to Start Mail Merge right here. And just go down to the step-by-step. And you'll see this over here, this sidebar, where I am here.
What version of Word do you have? Because I know that other people don't have different.
Yeah, so this is based on 2007. You can do basically all the same things with 97 to 2003, but they work a little differently. When they went to 2007, they made things a lot easier and a lot more automated because mail merges before used to be kind of like black magic. You'd have to insert fields manually, and oh my gosh. Now they've just automated the whole thing, so it's ridiculously easy. Step one. So you just go down and click the sewer I'm at down here.
Previous select document.
Okay, select recipients. Okay. So now we're going to use an existing list. And we're just going to browse our list. And no worries, this starts in one little place here called My Data Sources, but I've got it all on my thumb drive, so I'm just going to go right up to the desktop, go to my computer, go to my thumb drive, and my data document is, say, Silver Hill Estates. Now, magically, you can see that it's showing me all the data that's in that file that I'm going to merge into letters. And it's showing me my data source. I can select each record or not. And it goes right across here. It's got the owner address, city, state. You can go right down the list. And if there's anything that I want to edit out at this point before the merge, I can just check or uncheck these boxes. So sometimes you might have a list and you might decide, you've gone through and you've checked and maybe it's back on the market if you're doing expired, so you don't want to send to those. You can just uncheck it right here.
The lady that keeps writing
and I'm just showing you the very basics because that's all you really need is the very basics. Click OK. And now what I can do is letter. Okay. Sorry, I can't see it from here. Okay, so now in my letter, I'm going to insert an address block.
Did you already predefine what the information elements are in the address block?
No. So right now, I have to go down because nothing came up in here. I need to go down and I need to match fields. And what it does is it says like first name is not matched. This is where in your raw data file up at the top where you've got fields, there's a name that might be owner name or owner first or whatever. And this is where you're going to pick your data. And so this would be, say, owner name first. Last, pick your address.
You have to tell it what to do.
You have to tell it what to do, sure. And this is, if you've got a file that's got a lot of fields and it starts off with a tax number and other data, you have to do this. A lot of times it's smart enough, if you've just got a few fields, maybe 7 or 10 fields, it's smart enough to know, and it'll automatically match addresses in cities and states if they're in any kind of a logical order. So you don't always have to do this. Okay. Now you can see that we've matched it up. This is the format that it's going to be when we do our merge. We click OK, and now we've got